Stephen asked, I find clients are put off by the title existential coaching. They think it's going to be like a chess session with death. I just love that in black and white. How can I present a definition and value statement in real terms for the issues? Whew, there's a lot in that question. Clients might be put off by the title, by the name existential coaching. And so when that's the association that somebody has with existentialism, then it might not be helpful to just call it and say, hey, do you want this? Right? But I find myself not using existential as first part of the conversation. Sometimes I do. And I got to say that when I say I'm an existential coach, like almost always people say, oh, that's interesting. What's that? You know? But often I wouldn't start with I'm an existential coach. I mean, it works, but often I don't, right? When I listen first, I ask questions about what that person is bringing to the table. I'm curious. And then I can see and feel and sense all these existential doors opening. So when the existential doors are opening, whether I call them existential or not, doesn't really matter so much. What matters is that we acknowledge that there's certain challenges this person is facing, certain desires that they bring, and I can point to them and get curious about them. And so when I'm already in that conversation, calling it existential might come much later. Right. So as a general rule, if you already know that person in front of you has a set idea about the value and use of philosophy and existentialism in particular, then maybe talk their language. But if they would reject the term existential, if they don't see any value in philosophy, then maybe don't use that kind of language.